Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Paramagurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Sarvagurubhyo Namaha, Sri Lakshmi Nrsimha Parabrahmane Namaha, Sri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha, Sri Lakshmi Hayavadana Parabrahmane Namaha, Sarvam Sri Krishnarpanamastu. So now we will start the lecture 9. I had mentioned that this lecture I'll try to talk about a few differences and also have to complete the chapter 2, verse 11, the final few things about the Ramanuja Bhashya, which is a little complicated, but I'll try to mention it in short. Okay, let me start the lecture here. Let me start sharing. So can you see the slide, Bhagavad Gita lecture line?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. You see the next one also, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. See, the last portion of the chapter 2, verse 11. What it says about it, this is also, this continues to say, according to Ramanujacharya, some concepts of Advaita views, which he attacks basically in some ways. One concept in Advaita is that there is only one Jiva. This is known as the Ekajiva Vada. What this concept is, all the jivas and other things, the matter and everything you see in this universe, including the war, Krishna, Arjuna, all these things. Among all these things, there is only one Vada. There is only one person. That is Ekajiva. That is only one Jiva is there. What that is one Brahman, due to some reason, got Ajnana and he became one Jiva. And all these appearances of multiple Jivas, multiple war and everything, they're only appearances. And this is one view. So in this, according to this view, Ramanujacharya takes it, this is a detailed logic, but he has simplified it into just 3-4 lines here. So, kincha giroho advitiya atma vijnanadeva brahma ajnanasya sakaryasya vinashtatvat shishyam pratyupadesho nishprayojanaha. So, because Guru knows that there is only one Atman, by knowing that there is only one Atman, all ajnana, all the ignorance is lost. When ignorance is lost, he cannot see any multiplicity. That means whatever he is talking, that is, if he teaches a shishya or a disciple, what is the value of that kind of upadesha or some teaching? It is useless, because he himself is now lost. He has ajnana. Because he has ajnana, he is seeing all this multiplicity, and that there is only one jiva. And if that is, assuming that is the Guru, you can stop me when you want, so that I want to make sure that you understand where we are going here. So we are assuming the Guru is only this jiva, and that he is, because of Brahman got the ajnana, he became this Guru. And now this Guru is seeing all the multiplicity in front of him. And now he sees a disciple. And what is this? It's just he is teaching a dream character or something. Isn't it useless? That's what is one question here. Next viewpoint is Guruhu tadjnanam cha kalpitamiti chet shishyaha tadjnanayorapi kalpitatvat tadapi anartakam. If you assume that Guru and his knowledge is imaginary, that means now the jiva which is the because of the ignorance of Brahman, one jiva is created. That jiva is somewhere else. That is not the guru. Now, assuming that he is not the guru and he is a third person looking at this situation of Mahabharata, situation of Lord Krishna, Arjuna, and all those things. There's a third party here. But in the third party's vision, this is a dream. In this dream, he is looking at characters like Krishna, Arjuna, that is a guru, and his shishyas and all those things. Guru and his shishya. So if everything is imaginary, and if from the third party perspective, how can this change? Because Guru is imaginary and his knowledge is imaginary, Shishya is imaginary, Shishya's knowledge is imaginary. So that cannot cause any value. It cannot, say that, okay, everything is unreal, only one Brahman is there, one Atman is there. That cannot be imported in this situation. So if we say, Kalpitatvepi Purva Virodhitvena Nivartakam iti chet, that means, what this last sentence means is, suppose somebody has two dreams, right? One dream, the earlier part of the dream, you see the negative aspects. Okay, there are so many jivas, people have fear, people are suffering, people have all these problems, pain, pleasure, and all these problems. That is the prior movie. That is the imaginary dream. But the later part of the dream is that no, everything is unreal. The reality is only Atman. So the thing is, one can say that even though everything is a dream, the older portion is denied from the later portion. If that is said, in spite of that, what do you call, tad acharya jnana pi samanamiti tadeva nivartakam bhavati iti upadesha anarthakyameva. So the thing is, this can happen even in the knowledge of the Acharya, because Acharya is also imagining here, because he is a part of the dream. So the third party view doesn't make any big difference here. Kalpitatvepi purva virodhitve nivartakam iti chet tad acharya jnanepi samanamiti tadeva nivartakam bhavati iti upadesha anarthakyameva iti kritasamechina vadaihi nirastaihi. Even from the third party point of view, again, the Acharya Jnana is there, right? You apply this to the Acharya Jnana. Acharya Jnanepi samanamiti tadeva nivartakam bhavati iti upadesha anarthakyameva. So the thing is, however you view this one Jiva Vada, whether a third party is viewing this, who is this? Even if third party is viewing this, a guru in the dream of this third party and a shishya in the dream of the party has this kind of an information. What use of it? Because it is a dream anyway of the Acharya, and Acharya himself or the third party is in a dream. And what kind of help will this Upadesha give to whom? This is a problem here. So this doesn't work out. This is a very complicated logic. In fact, when I looked at it, apparently in the Shatadoshini and other places, this logic has been explained in even more detail. See, now we cannot go into that detail and to go into this, because we'll have to go into the Shatadoshini and all those things, which are very terse, very logical works. I'm simplifying this as much as possible. This may not be very easy at this point. We will leave it at this because this is out of scope of Bhagavad Gita at this point. But I want to summarize this. What Ramanujacharya is trying to say here is, if a guru is knowledgeable, then he will not see any multiplicity. And if he does not see any multiplicity, he cannot teach anyone. So that is a fundamental Upadesha Anarthakya. That's what is the main thing here. The rest are the tributaries of this logic. We don't have to worry about this tributaries of logic, because however it is, he is logically saying that once, if you know Advaita, that person cannot be a teacher and no student can learn from him, because no student exists in front of him. Because all the multiplicity and variations occur because of Ajnana. And if a guru has ajnana, he cannot teach anymore. That's all is the main aspect of it. So there is no point in beating this logic beyond. And we have dealt with it a little bit better earlier itself. So this is not a big issue. And this is not an issue for Advaita too much, because Advaita people do not think that everything is logically explicable anyway. And they will say, Naisha Tarkena Matirapaneya, right? Can everything be logical? Logic cannot solve all these things. So they take precedence about Anubhava and Atma Jnana as given by Vedas in a certain way. And that's what is the guiding light. And the rest of the Vedas are not important for them. So it doesn't matter. The second thing is, whatever a Vedas can say, they can only say a little bit. Vedas cannot explain Brahman perfectly, completely. So there is no point in making, trying to understand the full, complete picture of Brahman using the Vedas, because it's Shabda only, right? So even in that way, they have a point there. So this is what I want to mention. Now we will go to the next shloka, where there is a question of problem here. Nasato vidyate bhavaha, nabhavo vidyate sataha, ubhayoropi drushtuvantaha anyo sattvadarshipih. The reason why I brought this out was, if somebody reads Shankara Bhashya here, obviously they think that it is a totally different way of looking at it. And if somebody reads Ramanuja Bhashya here, they think that it is somewhat totally different. So how come from the same shloka, two Acharyas understood it in a very, very different way? And the thing is, I have mentioned this earlier, even Madhvacharya takes the shloka in a very different way. So I just want to explain the differences here so that we know where they're going. At the end of the day, these differences are not major to me. It didn't appear as like, mind-bogglingly different or very radically different kind of approaches at all. So just want to mention some things and then we'll go further. What main point here is avidyamanasya shitoshnadehe, the second line if you see. Na asataha. Asataha means avidyamanasya. He says asataha means non-existing. So the shita, ushna, sukha means heat and cold. Similarly, like ups and downs in life, sadness and happiness, all these things are non-existent, and it will never have existence. So think from a very different point of view. What is this non-existence then? Why is Shankaracharya saying about this non-existence here? Don't you think pain hurts, and then do you think pain doesn't exist? So this is this is an important point to understand. What Shankaracharya is mentioning is Sat is something very constant. The pain and other things are vikara. Vikara is, that is, modifications. Modifications keep on changing. Once we experience pain, next time we experience happiness, next time we experience something. But what persists all along is the subject, Atman. So what we see in front of us, ghata or the pot, what is seen by our senses, we cannot see this pot without seeing the mud. Without, that is, other than the mud, we don't see the pot, right? So all the changes are temporary, and it can be whatever is temporary is not existing according to Shankaracharya. This is an important point to understand. So there is not a marked difference between Shankaracharya and Ramanujacharya here at all. Janma pradvamsabhyam prag urdhvam cha anupalabdehe. Before the pot was born, you don't see the pot. It is mud itself. After the pot is broken, it becomes mud itself. So it is not seen. So in that sense, it is non-existent. That's what they say. Karyasya ghatadehem radadi karanasya cha tat karana vyatiriktena anupalabdehe asatvam tad asatve cha sarvabhava prasanga iti chetana tatra buddhidvayo upalabdehe sadbuddhi asatbuddhi. So the thing is, then nothing exists, right? Shankaracharya says, no, it is not true. there is a Sadbuddhi and Asadbuddhi. I did not copy the whole, the whole rest of the Shankara Bhashya here because I want to summarize it. It's complex. What Shankaracharya says is, if you say, look at a pot, you see that a pot exists. Then you take the pot away and you put a cloth or something, then you say cloth exists. What it is, the existence is reality. The existence is actually the Atman, like how the sky exists. Whether there is a pot there, or there is a broken pot there, or some mud there, or some cloth there, whatever there, all these changes occurs within. But really speaking, the Akasha, the space exists as constant. Similarly, Atman exists as constant, and that is the Sattva, that is Sat. And all the objects are not Sat. They are Asat, which are constantly changing, which finally non-existing. Because at the end of the day, there is only one thing. All the changes will go away. This is the Acharya's view, Shankaracharya's view. So what we see as changes are not permanent and they will completely get sublated eventually. Because once a person becomes realized, all he can realize is Brahman and that's it, and nothing else. So all these things don't exist anyway. That is the idea of Shankaracharya. Now, would like to switch a little bit. Here again, let's get back to the Nasato Vidyate Bhava for a few minutes. Ramanujacharya only says is this Asat and Sat should be understood as perishable and imperishable. So the imperishable will not become perishable. The perishable will not become imperishable. That's what Ramanujacharya says. It's not too different from, if you look at this whole thing, it's not too different. The only difference is Shankaracharya is referring the imperishable to only one entity, that is Atman, that is Brahman, only one. Ramanujacharya is assigning the imperishability to the several Jivas and Parabrahman, Paramatma and Jivatma. All of them are imperishable. That's what Ramanujacharya is assigning the imperishability to. Similarly, Madhvacharya also says, Nasato Vidyate Bhavaha Nabhava Vidyate Tata. It is slightly different viewpoint there in Madhva Bhashya. I think we covered this already. We covered Madhva Bhashya earlier. There is no point in going. It's not much different. Here, both Prakriti and that is matter and Jivas are eternal. That is what Madhvacharya summarizes. That means because the same thing is said in the Bhagavad Gita later. Matter also is eternal. Jivas are also eternal. That is what is meant here in the shloka according to Madhvacharya. So that's very clear. Next, in this shloka there is a small difference. Avinashitu tadvidhi yena sarvamidam tatam vinasham avyasya na kaschit kartumarhati. What it means is, Shankara Bhashya, let us take this. What is this Avinashi according to Shankara? Avinashtum Shilam Yasya. Tu Shabdaha Sataha Visheshanat Aham. Tad Vidhi Vijanihi Kim Yena Sarvamidam Jagat Vyaptam Sadakyena Brahmanas Akasham Akashena Eva Gadadeha. This is similar to what we said earlier. Brahman is like the Akasha, and all objects are like the pots and other things like that. And the space is pervading everywhere. Ena sarvam vidam tatam. So this particular thing is Avinashi. It does not have any destruction. That is like the sky. It does not have any destruction. Vinasham adarshanam abhavam. That which is unseen, it goes away from our experience. That is vinasha. Abhavam, which doesn't exist. Avyasya vyeti upachaya apachayo nayati iti avyam tasya avyasya. So this entity Atman, which is like the sky, does not grow in size, or it does not reduce in size. It does not undergo any transformation. And this is known as Sat, and this is known as Brahman. Svena rupena vyeti vyabhicharati niravayatvat dehad. It does not have any components within it. Like Deha has a components like bones, blood, and and different components Deha has. That is the Sharira, the bodies have different components. that can perish. For example, even a different kind of relational changes occur. Devadatta dhanahanya vyeti. A person, Devadatta, because he lost his money, he became very upset and he became very sad. This kind of a change also does not affect Brahman, which is Atma. Because there is nothing, Atmiya Abhavat, there is nothing related to Brahman. He is unrelated to anything. He is one. And he is only one. Hence, this one entity cannot be destroyed. Nakashid Atmanam Vinashayitum Shaknoti Ishwaropi. Even Lord Krishna cannot destroy Parabrahman or Atman. That's what he says. Ishwaropi. There is this does not have any destruction. Atma hi Brahma. Swatmani cha kriya virodhat. Yatha chakshur gata rekha chakshur na pashyati. Like how the marks in the iris in the eyes do not see the eye. Like that, Atma himself cannot act on himself. That is, there is no action for this one Atman. Think about this. For Atma, for the Shankaracharya, Atma is Kriya-Hina. That means it does not act, does not do any action. It is one, Shuddha Mukta, pure. It is released Mukta. That is the nature of Atma. It's only one. And it does not act on itself also. This is Shankara Bhashya here. Here, Ramanuja Bhashya goes in a slightly different way. Atmanastu avinashitvam kathamupapadyate ityatra. Shankara, Ramanujacharya has a small issue here because of the multiplicity of Atmans, right? Hence, Ramanujacharya takes the Atma Tattva, he says, the principle of spirit, he says, and he does not refer to multiple Atmans, because Yena Sarvam Vidam Tatam, the Sarva Vyapakatva, or pervasion, the pervasive aspect cannot be explained here. So he says the spirit as a Tattva, or as a concept, and it's not exactly a concept, as an actual entity. The spirit as an entity pervades everything other than it. All this matter is pervaded by the entity called spirit. The Atma Tattva, that is the principle of Atma. And what is pervaded can be perishable. But what pervades, which is the spirit, is not perishable. And nobody can destroy the pervading entity. That's how even the weapons break the objects because it pervades and it goes into the objects. Like that, nothing can go into this Atman, that because it's all pervading. That is pervading actually. Atma to avinashi. So Jivas and Paramatma are not they cannot be destroyed. Now you take the Ananda Tirtha Madhva Bhashya, Madhvacharya Bhashya. Madhvacharya's another name is Ananda Tirtha. Nitya Atma ityuktam. Kim Atma eva nitya ahos with anyadapi tat kim ityaha nasate. See here, that nasate vidyato bhavo I've taken here actually from Madhva Bhashya. Prakriti and Purusha both are Nitya. Kalascha Sattama. Kala is also Nitya according to Madhvacharya. So all of these are eternal and eternal entities. That is Prakriti, that is matter, Jivas, the souls, and Kala, that is time. All of them are eternal. They are separate also. Here, na asato vidyate. Asatha means karana according to Madhvacharya. Asat word can be taken as karana. Sad asad rupa chaso gunamaya guno vibhuho iti bhagavate asataha sajjayata iti avyaktescha. Asat means karana. So uvayorupinishtu antaha means people know the difference between these two, Prakriti and Purusha, that is the souls and matter. That's what Madhvacharya says here. We have gone through this here. There is Avinashi tu Tadvidi. Here, there is a small difference in Raman in Madhva Bhashya. Yet deshato anantam tan nityameva. Here, according to Madhva Bhashya, he takes this Avinashi tu Tadvidi as one entity. Avinashi tu Tadvidi ena sarvam vidam tatam. There, Avinashi is taken as Brahman. Yet deshato anantam tan nityameva. Here, deshato anantam means it is all pervading. Anything which is all pervading is nitya, eternal. Veda Vyanyadapi ityaha avinashi tu napi shapadina vinasha ityaha vinashamiti. That even if somebody curses, this Atman cannot be destroyed. Here, the small change here is Madhva Bhashya takes here as one entity. Avinashi tu tadvidi means because anyway it is given as singular, right? And there is no problem here. Yena sarvam vidam tatam. So Madhvacharya slips or changes between the souls as multiple. Some verses talk about the multiple entities. Some verses talk about only Brahman or Paramatma. Madhvacharya takes this shloka to be Paramatma oriented. So you see the difference between these Acharyas. We just spent a few minutes on Shankara Bhashya to understand that here the summary is just this. This Atma, this seer, the Atman inside here, right? The real witness, according to Shankaracharya, does not become unknown to anyone, because all of us know this. In what way? That we will call ourselves a subject. Because of the subject, we are acting. So in that sense, everybody knows about it. In fact, you know about the rest of the world, the objects and everything, only because you know yourself first. Then somebody will ask, well, don't you think through Shastras we know, through Vedas we know about the eternality of Atman and non-eternality and of the universe? What Shankaracharya says, Shastra is the final authority, but only what it's saying is, it only tells you that some wrongly ascribed things onto entities. If you remove those wrong views, then that is what Shastra is doing. That means we wrongly assign happiness, sadness, and everything to this multiple world. And that say, I am big, I am small, I'm happy, I'm unhappy, I am rich, I'm poor. All these things are erroneously assigned. Shastras only says that Atma is eternal and it's always happy, and so the wrong assignment is which is removed by the Shastras. But Shastras are not giving you ajnata artha jnapaka. It's not telling you something which you don't know. Ajnata artha jnapakatvena. What does it mean? Atman is known directly here. Yat sakshat aparokshat brahma ya atma sarvantaraha. This is the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad Shruti Shankaracharya talks about. There is direct Atman within us, which is immediately recognizable. That is Brahma. Sarvantaraha, he is everywhere. Is that recognizable by us? Only because we are ignorant, we cannot recognize, but we recognize that we are the subject. That's what it means here. Yasmadevam nitya vikriyascha atma tasmat yudhyasva. Because Atma cannot act. Tasmat yudhyasva. Here, Shankaracharya slightly changes something here. Yuddhat uparamam makarshi. You have already started fighting, and suddenly you stop fighting in the middle and say that I cannot fight anymore, but just continue fighting. So, according to Shankaracharya, Lord Krishna is not asking him to fight, but he is asking him to continue what he was doing. Atah tasya kartavya pratibandhapanayana matram. Only because if it is duty, you are a Kshatriya, your duty is to fight, and the right time you should do it. And he is not supporting war here, according to Shankaracharya. Idu anuvada midamatram na vidihi. It is not a rule or an order by Lord Krishna that he should fight. So there's a small change here, but I don't think it means it's only a philosophical dispute here. That's all. That because one cannot engage in any action, so that's why you cannot talk about this. Maybe that's how it is said. So it's not that philosophically changing anything here. Here, Ramanuja Bhashya slightly changes. The body is vinashi. That means it's perishable. It grows and it becomes bigger, it becomes smaller, it becomes older, it becomes weaker. All the changes occurs. And even the parts and other things are also, they grow big and you can make bigger part, smaller part, and there were no part before. You try to make a part from nothing, from just the mud. So all the changes occur. Nityasya Sharira, Ramanuja Acharya keeps in mind the multiple souls. So because eternal souls are there, and they have to experience the karma phala, that is they have to repay what they have done in the past. They have to experience the effects of their actions in the past, and they have to experience the effects. So they are given these bodies. So the punyena Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, what it is the body is like a punya. Because of the good actions you have done, you have been given a good body. You should use this body in the right way. Because if you have the wrong body, like the body of a worm or an ant or something, we may not be able to do what you can do now. So Sharira is very important. You have to do it. Use this Sharira to do the right things. Karma avasana vinashina. Once the karmas go away, the shariras will go away. And the eternal is the pure Atman, which each one of us have an Atman. So that is the eternal thing. So Ramanuja Bhashya takes the Jiva Anekatva here and explains everything accordingly. And further, Atma to Avinashi Kutaha Aprameyatvat. See, Atma is unknown. Atma cannot be known through any kind of prama, means knowledge.
Intellect.
It should be only, it is known only as a subject and not as an object. Idam Kshetram, all these things in the 13th chapter, it says all this, everything here is Kshetra. Etadyo vetitam prahu Kshetrajna iti tadvidaha. Idam shariram kaunteya Kshetram ityabhidiyate. That this body is the Kshetra. And if you know that this is the Kshetra, then you are the knower of the Kshetra, which is Kshetrajna, knower of the field. The field is the body, and you know the body, then that means you are a Kshetrajna. So Atma does not go through transformations of becoming fat or thin or anything like that. Within this body, we know anything that aham idam janami. That means I can see, oh, these are my fingers, oh, this is my body, this is my. You know every part of your body as, oh, I know this. So you are different from the body. That is why you are the knower. That's what Ramanuja says. So his view is here to talk about the difference between the body and the subject. So even when you were young, you remember what happened when you were young. You remember what happened when you were in the middle age. You remember what happened yesterday or in the few years. So in all these experiences, you are the knower, and what happened to you is or different events. But the one knower is constant. That is Nitya. That's what Ramanujacharya says. So it's just like a logical way of explaining that, what at least from here, even though we don't see our own souls, we can know that the knower is constant, has not changed. Body, on the other hand, has gone through, childhood, youth, and all these stages. So this is the same thing Ramanujacharya has mentioned before, that our body is perishable and Atma is not perishable. That's all here. Tasmat dehasya. Because the bodies do go through changes, you should not worry about it. Do you worry when you from the childhood stage you come to this stage? Do you worry about it? No. Similarly, you should not worry about any changes that happen to the body. Atma nitya swabhavacha Atma cannot be destroyed, and it's as it is. So why do you worry about both of these things? You cannot change what the body is, and you cannot change what the Atma is. So just do your duty. Be in the, do the war, fight the battle, and do your duty. Then only you will get immortality. And that too, do not expect any phala or any results of this. Just continue with the battle, just fight, and do not worry about anything else. This is Ramanuja Bhashya here at this point. See, I'm leading to a particular point which we will take up in the next class, which is the theory of karma and jnana. Why are we doing this? This becomes the major issue in the next adhyaya. Karma yoga is about action, and jnana yoga is about jnana. And how are they related? So the introduction to karma and jnana will come right here. So I'm just spending a little bit more time on where in the second chapter things have been mentioned regarding that. Here, in the next verse, enam veti hantaram yaschainam manyate hatam oboto na vijanito nayam hantina hanyate. Here the important point is Shankara Bhashya mentions this Dehi or the Atman cannot think that he is the killer or he is getting killed. Both are impossible, both are wrong. So because any entity cannot be killed. So hataha means, I am killed. I mean, I am dead. It is not possible, because Atman cannot be an object of any action, and Atman cannot participate in any action, because Atma is vikriya, without any action. This is Shankaracharya's avikriya. Avikriya means there is no change in Atman. It cannot act. Khatam avikriya atmeti dvitiyo mantraha na jayate na utpaddite jane lakshana vastu vikriya cha atmana vidyate ityartha. We will go further with the Shankara Bhashya here. No actions, kadachit means no time. Any time this Atman does not act at all. So here Shankaracharya is explaining a Atman, which is Brahman, which is same as Nirguna. So Shankaracharya wants to retain the Nirgunatva here. That's what he is trying to explain. That is the explanation of the Brahman. All these things he refers to Brahman only here in this. So the question of not being there and then becoming something, and all this is the property of the body, and Atma does not have these properties. It is eternal. That's what he mentions. So if you understand, each Acharya is mentioning slightly different views. There is one referring to the Parabrahman, one referring to the Jivatma. The similarity of these things exists. That is, the souls are similar to Atman, Parabrahman anyway. So that is why there's not major deviation anywhere. Shankara Bhashya further. The same thing, there is not much difference here. So I'm not going to mention something more because only thing he mentions is Shadbhava Vikaraha. Shadbhava, there are 6 type of modifications. All of them do not affect Atman.
Asti jayate.
Correct. Asti jayate, vardhate, kshiyate, all these things do not exist for Atman. Next. Okay, here we'll take Ramanuja Bhashya a little bit further. Yena mukta swabhavam atmanam pratihantaram hanana hetum kamapi manyate yaschainam kenapi hetuna hatam manyate taubho na vijanitaha. People who think that the souls kill or get killed are both ignorant. Hanti dhatoho api atma karmakaha sharira viyoga karnavachi. What if you say, for hanti means that is the kill, that is in Sanskrit. What if you understand that this is an action of separating the body from the soul. This Nahim syat sarva bhutani brahmano hantavyaha ityadinapi shastrani avihita sharira viyoga karana vishayani. All these things are mentioning, refers to. It's killing means to not exactly destroy the soul or destroy body or anything like that. They're separating the body and the soul. That is ukteraiva hetubhihi nityameva nityatvena apariणामित्वाद आत्मनः जनन मरणादयः सर्व एव अचेतन धर्माः न सन्ति इत्युच्यते. Even birth and death is actually to the body. The body comes and the body goes. So the Atman is untouched during this process, no matter what. So even though separation of the body and soul is being ascribed as killing, but that is a part of nitya karma, not nitya karma, but that is a part of Kshatriya karma. Because he is a Kshatriya, he is a warrior class person. He is supposed to do it at the right time because he is forced to do it. So that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't affect anything.
Can I ask a question at this point?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, it appears like Shankaracharya is using the Advaita to only to state that both Jivatma and Paramatma are not different from each other, but he does use Dvaita to separate Sharira from or the Asat from Sat. So this is kind of inconsistent at this point.
See, the thing is, what it is, it's not inconsistent. See, Shankaracharya's focus is on the Atman, which is the highest Atman, that one Atman, right? His focus on that, and relatively everything is real, right? For them, when you say real, relatively, jiva, birth, death, pain, pleasure, all the relatively it is real because there is a soul also for Shankaracharya, which is multiple, which is it's not imaginary in sense of it's not imaginary because you feel and things like that. Just like us, he has a similar situation that jiva exists, but it's all relative. Eventually, all of them will be gone, and one Atman exists. That's what his view is. So, and I think this imaginary and non-imaginary should not be, the word should not be misconstrued. It is not like dream and dream is just an analogy here. Shankaracharya uses the analogy because at the end there is Advaita, at the beginning there is Advaita. See, even Ramanujacharya has to act to justify this. In the very beginning, Sadeva Somya Idamagra Asiti Ekameva Dvitiyam, there's only one which existed in the beginning. There's nothing else. There is no multiplicity. Right?
Yeah.
How does multiplicity come? Shankaracharya says it's a dream. But Ramanujacharya talks about it in a different way. Because the Sat has got different characteristics. Sat is Saguna. Sat has powers. Vichitra Shakti Yukta. That is, that Sat has got different powers. And that powers, you can create multiplicity. And he can become multiple, according to Ramanujacharya. Shankaracharya says that is a complex explanation because I'm going to avoid all the changes to Atman. Atman cannot, so all the changes goes in a relative reality. So he creates a different level of reality to explain the multiplicity. So that's the only two major differences, approach difference. Otherwise, I don't think there is any issue.
Okay.
I'm happy you're thinking about, see, it's very hard for people to think about these two systems, which are very different in thought pattern. And for a long time, people have been given the idea that these two systems should fight with each other for eternally, right? Advaita and Dvaita, they should be fight. Advaita and Vishishtadvaita, they should be eternal fight. If there is no fight, there is no fun for many of these pundits. So that is not a correct view. It is just that when somebody is so focused on the Brahman aspect of it, the way they perceive the rest of the details seem to be, all the rest of the details seem to be less important to them. And they said, okay, yes, everything I agree. Jiva dies and Jiva goes from one body to the other. I also agree. But when you say Jiva is unreal, at the end of the time, when everything, all the knowledge pops in, all this multiplicity will go away and only one Atman experience exists. That's what you call Shankaracharya says. For even Aham Brahmasmi Tyeva Anubhavati is Ramanujacharya's view also, that he experiences I am Brahman. What is this? At the final level, these two acharyas, particularly Shankaracharya and Ramanujacharya, do not disagree that much in the final at all. Even in the earlier, when before creation, Ramanujacharya agrees that there is Nama Rupa Vibhaga Anarhatvad. You cannot say name or form. We cannot talk about Jiva there. You cannot talk about matter there. You cannot talk about anything. There is one Brahman. So these two acharyas are very similar. For the purpose, but Ramanujacharya has taken this step by step, and he always gives the multiplicity its due. So Ramanujacharya, in this, after creation, everything is real. After creation, the differences are real. Jivas can never become Paramatma. Bodies can never become Nitya.
Yeah.
So the bodies cannot become souls. Souls cannot become bodies. Matter is separate. This is so in Ramanujacharya uses no illusory theory or Maya theory or anything like that. He takes the created stage after creation as everything real, very similar to Madhvacharya. That's all the differences. Only Madhvacharya retains multiplicity all the time. In the beginning also he says multiplicity. At the end also it is multiplicity. There is never there which is Advaita is totally banned according to Madhvacharya. That is the only difference. And there is a reason for that kind of a viewpoint. Every Vedic verse he separately explains. Hope this is clear. Any questions?
Yeah, it's as different as Swarupa and Rupa. So that way, similarity in Swarupa and difference in Rupa. That way, Sharira, Shariri, Bhava also can stand on that platform.
In which for which one you're talking about here?
So it's I'm talking about the difference between Sat and Asat. So one is Swarupa and the other one is Rupa. With that way,
No, you cannot. No, we cannot say Rupa and Swarupa. You cannot say about Sat and Asat. No. Sat and Asat are. It depends on which Acharya you're talking about, because there's slightly different meanings for the Sanskrit here. According to Ramanujacharya, Sat is Atman, which could be, it is, in here it is all Jivas, souls are Sat. And Asat is what goes through modification, which is matter.
Sharira.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay. So here, like a few minutes, Ramanuja Bhashya will give a little bit more details here. Nayam bhutva bhavita vanaboya. See, in the beginning of the kalpa and the end of the kalpa, this jiva does not get birth or to get destroyed. It's always there. So for Prajapati and all, right? Prajapati or Chaturmukha Brahma, Deheshu Agamena Uparabhyamanam Kalpado Jananam. In the beginning of the kalpa, he what do you call? He takes birth, and then at the end of the kalpa, he goes away. All these things are only for the body, not for the soul. Ataha sarvagya dehagata atma ajaha. In every body, the soul is eternal. Atayeva nityaha shashvataha. Prakriti vad avishada satata parinamayirapi nanviyate ataha puranaha. There is no modification, continuous modification like the Prakriti. So it is Puraha. He is old and ever new. Sarvada apurvavad anubhavya ityartaha. I'm not able to see. 1 second. Ataha sharire hanyamanapi na hanyate ayam atma. That means Atma does not die even when the body dies. So Ramanujacharya just takes it. There's not much difference. He's just mentioning about multiplicity of souls and eternality of souls. That's all here. Madhva Bhashya here, Vyavaharastu Brantha iti yenam pikutah, ukta hetubhyo nayam hanti na hanyate, nahi pratibimbasya kriya, nahi sahi bimba kriya eva kriyavan dhyayati va iti sutesha. Madhva Bhashya takes a slightly different here because he uses the bimba pratibimba vada. In reality, it is an object and object's reflection in a mirror. So the jiva is like the reflection. So jiva does not, the reflection does not act. That is how he is mentioning. This particular aspect is a little complex. We will go to it in the next lecture. Today we are almost 7:10 now. If you have more questions, why don't we answer the questions now for the rest of the period now. Let me get back to stop sharing. Okay. Any questions now? If you have any questions, please let me know.
Bhagavan Shankaracharya, he was a great yogi, so he has obviously realized Atma and also experienced Paramatma.
Yes.
So at that stage, he does know that these two are different entities, but in union, not the same. At the same time, why he continues to propagate Advaita when
See, so think about it. For Advaita also, the ordinary life exists, right? Like how we are here. The differences, the body, the souls, all these things exist for Advaita too. There is no difference.
okay.
But this is only a relative reality, Vyavaharika Satya. Vyavahara means what? Transactions. The transactions occur.
Yeah.
And that is all real for Shankaracharya. There is no difference. Absolute Paramartha Satya is different. That is, absolute reality is one for him. And absolute reality is also one for us too. One for Ramanuja Bhashya too.
But he calls Prapancha as a Brahman, which is illusion.
But illusion in what sense? Illusion is after a long time, after so many janmas, suppose bahunam janmanam te jnanavan mam prapadyate, right? After so many janmas, if a person gets perfection, he sees only Atman, and then he does not see the past. He does not see the body. He does not see all these things. He will be totally engrossed in Parabrahman only,
Okay.
and that's only one truth he can see. Even even for when in the Ramanuja system, Ramanujacharya system, with Vishishtadvaita system, once you go to moksha, you cannot see the past. Were you poor one day? Were you trying to get a job? Were you waiting for a bus stand in a bus, and then was it raining? All these things you don't remember.
That's correct.
So that is unreal for you. At that time, it's unreal. See, you can say past. Oh, I explained while I was there. If you remember past problems you had in thousands of janmas, then even in that moksha, you're remembering all these problems and getting worried about it. That moksha is a problematic moksha, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's correct.
so these two systems are not that different.
So that means the way I'm taking it as once real jnana is available, then everything else before that is illusion.
Before that is illusion, exactly.
Okay.
See, it's a very good point you brought. Mani Varadarajan sent me a note from Ramana Maharshi, actually. Somebody asked about Kala. Kala is Nitya, right, Ramana Maharshi? Kala means eternal, right? Ramana Maharshi answers, I really don't believe in Kala. I don't believe in time, he says. And then people ask, why? Why not? People get old, people die, people are born. Why don't you believe in time? And he thinks about it and says, do you realize time when you're sleeping? What happens to time when you're sleeping? You don't see it from the external. Somebody is seeing somebody is sleeping. No. Talk about your own experience. You are sleeping deeply. What happens to time? Time doesn't exist. He says time does not exist when you're asleep.
Very true.
And that when you're totally engrossed in Brahman, time doesn't exist because Brahman is eternal and you're engrossed in the eternal and you don't see any change. For you, only Brahman is visible. Even if somebody is realizing self only, Jivatma itself, time doesn't exist because they're focusing only on one, one Atman. Then you might, oh my God, he focused for a long time. After 78 years, 100 years, he passed away. It doesn't matter. He will continue with some other body and still be focusing.
Yeah, that's
So
what.
Time has got a very, it does not have a very powerful status, important status. From a Newtonian life, you can always, Newtonian view, you can always say, oh, minus infinity to plus infinity, number of years people lived, and all those things you can say, talk about. But that doesn't mean anything, does not have any value. Just the idea there.
That's correct. In
Okay.
They say Nakala Prabhu.
Oh, Nakalastha Travai Prabhu, exactly. Same. So think about it. These are all very similar concepts.
Yeah.
There is, when you go deeper and deeper, you realize that they're not big differences.
Yeah.
Okay, next time we'll figure out if there are the only introduction I have to give is about the karma and jnana. The concept of what is karma and what is jnana according to these two acharyas. There is a marked difference there. There is a difference. There's no doubt about it. But what does it mean? Is the difference real, or is it only a perspective? A deeper analysis of that does not give you that much of difference in on a daily life. Maybe a little bit. Let's see what happens. Okay.
Okay.
If there are any questions, please send it to me by Telegram or by email or any other method. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Parama Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Sarva Gurubhyo Namaha. Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Shri Lakshmi Parabramane Namaha. Shri Krishna Parabramane Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Hayavadana Parabramane Namaha.